guys, it's Sandy with Urban Rebel Designs in Aztec, New Mexico. I know this shot's a little weird. I just wanted to jump on. I'm painting some countertops today, and I thought I would jump on and give you a really quick tutorial and chat with you about some things. Hi Pam. My back is going to be turned to you most of the time, but I will keep checking the comments to answer any questions. So these are some countertops that I painted about 6 years ago, and at that point we wanted them to look like granite. So this is what we got. Well, I've decided to change everything, so I'm changing my countertops too. I'll back up a little bit and tell you what I did to prep. It's really simple. I have White Lightning, hi Dana, mixed up in my 32-ounce spray bottle that you can see my husband labeled as White Lightning. This stuff is amazing, and if you want to really gross yourself out and you think you're really clean your countertops with this stuff. This is really simple to use. It's a powder, and the directions call for, hold it up here, 2 tablespoons to a gallon of hot water. I just eyeball it when I'm mixing it for my spray bottle, and I keep a bottle of this everywhere I go. So then I scrubbed, after I sprayed them down really well with my White Lightning mixture, I scrubbed them with one of these green scrubbies, and the best place to get these that I have found is a restaurant supply store. You can get them, and they come about this big. I just cut them down to the size that's usable. After I scrubbed it down with this, I wiped it down, let it dry, and then for my peace of mind, I sprayed it down with clean water, and I have my handy dandy spray bottle here, and wiped it down, and it's completely dry now, and we are ready to paint. Now, I know, I'm going to set this aside, so excuse me. I know the first question is going to be, do you use Slick Stick? I am not using Slick Stick. Normally countertops have enough texture on them that you don't need it. However, if this is your first time painting countertops and you're uncomfortable with it, by all means, use Slick Stick. If you do, you're going to do 1 coat, let it dry for an hour, do a 2nd coat, let it dry for a full 24 hours, and then you're ready to paint. But I am just going to jump in here and do it the way I normally do. And I am changing my countertops to Gravel Road. Look at that yummy, rich gray. My cabinets will be a mixture of Rebel Yellow and French Linen. So we've already got these prepped, and if I can get the lid off, then we're going to go ahead and start. I have 2 brushes here with me today because that's what I had in my bag. There we go. So I have the Dixie Belle flat, I think it's about a 2-inch brush, and then I have a Worcester 2-inch angled brush. You can get these at Home Depot, you can get these from me. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're just going to start painting while we chat. I've got a lot of stuff going on at the store, so if you're local, you definitely want to check us out. I'm dampening my brush. When you get on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. If I don't get the questions while we're live, I promise I will go back when I finish and answer them. Now, when I'm over here, you may not be able to see as well, but as I move over, you will. And I like to work in long streaks, so when I get over on that side, I'm going to disappear for just a couple of minutes. Let's see. Patricia, hello. So I am just starting with, and I say this is a thin coat of Gravel Road, and this is going to be my base coat. It's basically what everything else is going to grab hold of. So you don't necessarily need a full coverage with this coat, and it's probably best if you don't. As a matter of fact, I'm going to spray my countertops a little bit so I can spread my paint easier. So we will do one thin coat on this. I will let it dry for probably 2 or 3 hours before I come back and do a thicker coat. I will let the thicker coat dry for 2 or 3 hours. Now, excuse me, my back is going to go in front of the camera because I've got to reach this little corner down here. After I do the second coat, I will let it dry overnight, and then I will come back tomorrow and start with my gator hide. And it truly is that simple to paint your countertops. Now, the look that I'm going for here is polished concrete. I've always wanted concrete countertops, and I have decided I'm probably never going to get them. So I'm just going to make my own. I keep adding water to the surface to thin my paint out. It makes it easier to move around. And this is a synthetic bristle brush. I find that the synthetic bristle brushes hang on to the paint a little harder than a natural bristle does. And that's okay. It just requires a little more water. Okay, so while I'm finishing this and trying to catch comments and questions, and I have a few. Valerie, I am painting my countertops. All I did to prime them was I cleaned them really well. Let me get over here. I'm in an odd position. I spider monkey when I paint kitchens. Cleaned them really well with Dixie Belle's White Lightning. Let it dry. I sprayed it down, wiped it down again, let it dry. I'm not using slick stick on these. You can if that makes you feel more comfortable. But I'm using my first coat of paint as my primer coat. Have to think how to explain this. And that's why the first coat's going to be kind of thin. I am going to do probably 4 coats of gator hide when I get everything finished. And I know that some people have had issues with gator hide. It's all in the application. I use a synthetic silk sponge, and I think I have one around here. Or maybe not, I must have moved it. And I do super thin coats. I will do the first coat in one direction. I will come back after that has completely dried, do my second coat the opposite direction. My next at least 2 coats will all go in the same direction. This helps eliminate brush strokes. It helps eliminate thin spots in your gator hide. It gives you a nice even coverage, and it also helps with the strength of the gator hide. So I have a kitchen update class coming up on Saturday from 11 to 2, and painting countertops is one of the techniques that we cover in it. I have 2 spaces available, so if you're interested in those, you can either give me a call, comment here, send me a private message. There are all sorts of ways to get in touch with me. I also have, if you saw my video on the Dixie Belle page last night, the trees that I got from Sinopoly that I did the paint pour on, I have a class coming up November 16th for those. So in that class, you'll be doing the set of 3 3D trees and a 3D snowman. And that's going to be so much fun. And then on the 23rd, we have a Women Creating Business group that will be meeting. And let me tell y'all, we've had 1 meeting, and it's just a small group right now. If you're interested in that, you can hit me up. But The successes that we have had so far just from our little meeting last month is unbelievable. We also have new vendors who are setting up in the store beginning this week. So come by and check them out. They're pretty awesome bunch of ladies. So far it's all been ladies. Extremely talented. I am so thrilled, but I'm probably going to go broke having them in the store. And Dana is one of them. What else do we have? Oh, if you're interested in being a beta tester for me, I am trying to pull together a group, and I need some help working the kinks out. It's going to be, I think, a really cool concept. It's living your best creative life, celebrating something every day. My theory is, if it's just celebrating the fact that you have 5 minutes to sit down and drink your coffee in peace with no dogs on your lap, that's a celebration. And the more that we can find to celebrate, it not only increases our personal joy, but it increases the joy of everybody that we come in contact with. And it's something that's simple and easy to do. It's all basically a mindset. So if anybody is interested in being a beta tester for me on that, hit me up and let me know. Hi, AJ. Oh gosh, I just got nervous. If you all don't know, Amy O'Connor is one of the brand ambassadors for Dixie Belle, and I adore her work. And every time I look up on one of my lives and see her there, I go, okay. So you can see I'm almost finished with this entire countertop. Now, I will tell you, when I do countertops in kitchens, if the family has already moved in, then I do them in sections. As soon as the gator hide has dried, these countertops will be ready to use. You do want to baby them for 2 or 3 weeks. And by that I mean don't cut on them, but you can't anyway. Don't set hot pots on them, but if they're laminate countertops, you don't want to do that because they will melt. And don't leave something wet sitting on them. But if you do, if you leave a glass with ice in it and it sweats overnight, don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. Just move the glass, dry it off, and let it sit for a couple hours. And the white ring that is caused by the condensation meeting the gator hide will disappear in just a couple of hours. So a lot of people think that painting countertops has to be difficult, even mystical, that there's some reason that they can't do it. Well, you're wrong. If you can hold a paintbrush, you can paint your countertops. And like I said, I did these 6 years ago. They looked brand new, but I need a change. Okay. Let's see what else I have to tell you guys. We've got some great help classes coming up at the shop. Dana is one of the instructors. Callie Wells is the other. So Callie is doing some classes on how to use the essential oils that you already have. And Dana is doing a low carb class and a chakra class. Aren't you proud I remembered that? I've got to find somewhere to set my paint down now. Those will be coming up in November, and I just leaned up against wet paint. I'm going to tape off the backsplash and get this part up here. The next time you can see this window back here. This is ceramic tile, so my next video on this page will be me up in the window painting the ceramic tile, just to show you that it can be done. This color is Gravel Road. And Valerie, I have not forgotten about you. I'm just making you some samples, and it's taken a little longer than I expected. Thank you, Gail. I appreciate that. You're from Arkansas. I'm originally from Tennessee, and I was just talking to somebody from Arkansas this morning. So I am not going to keep you on here all day. You know that I'm not one of those people that will do a 3 or 4 hour video. I don't have that much to say. I don't like to hear me talk that much. So once again, I cleaned this really well with White Lightning. Then I let that dry. I'm doing a really thin coat of the Gravel Road because I want these to look like polished concrete. When I get the second coat on, I will take a picture. When I start doing the gator hide, I will come on and do another short live just to show you how I'm going to apply it and how quick and easy it really is to change your countertops. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're interested in anything I talked about, send me a message, comment on here. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.